Hey there, Scorpio, and welcome to the journey, a Scorpio's journey. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Kenya, and I am a Scorpio sun, a Scorpio moon, and a Pisces rising. I'm also a lover of tarot, and I have been using it for such a long time as a journaling tool. Really to support my own emotional and spiritual well-being. And I've recently had a calling to share my insights with the world. Now, I have to say that I'm not in the medical profession, I'm not in the legal profession, I'm not in the financial profession, I am not a licensed counselor of any kind, I do not sell personal tarot readings or anything like that. I'm just rising to a challenge that the universe put out there for me, to share my intuitive guidance and interpretations of tarot with other people. And I hope you'll join me as we build this community. So if the message you hear today resonates with you, please consider subscribing to this channel, as well as liking and sharing the video. This channel is just for Scorpios because I really want to go deep into the transformational journeys that we Scorpios like to have. So I will be doing weekly general readings, but I'll also do monthly readings that cover all aspects of the astrological chart. So each month I'll do a separate reading for every house, from the first house all the way through to the 12th house. We're going to get started today. This reading is for January, but we're going to focus on the 7th house of relationships. But first, Scorpio, I was reading my daily affirmations and Spirit wanted me to share a part of it with you. Here it is. When we fail to admit our faults, then the faults become what everyone sees. There it is, Scorpio. So let's get into the reading. This is going to be about the 7th house of relationships or partners. So I'm showing here the interpretation of that, the visualization of that from the Black Moon astrology deck. In that deck, it's number 31, and it says the 7th house, partners. So yeah, that's what the 7th house is all about. It's ruled by the zodiac sign Libra and the planet Venus. And it's all about long-term relationships of any kind, romantic relationships, but also business relationships. It can be about enemies as well. And that because it's, ruled by Libra, it can also be about legal contracts or, lawsuits, or if you're having to deal with the court. It could also just be about, having to, make a decision or judging or, weighing your options. All of that has to do with the 7th house. It corresponds with the Justice card in the tarot. So as we do our reading today, we're going to, be looking at the cards and looking at the messages, focusing on, the 7th house. And what, all of the readings mean from that aspect. So to get us started, I'm going to pull from a couple of oracle cards, looking first at the Sacred Animal Wisdom deck. Happy New Year, Scorpio. We're still, in sort of like the first week of the new year, so I think I can still say Happy New Year. I hope you had a really wonderful holiday and that you were able to spend it with friends and family. I am not keeping this. I do not take pop-ups, but if someone needs to see this is Starfish. It says intuition. Intuition. Okay, so let's see what Spirit has for us to start the reading off in terms of the 7th house of relationships. Okay, and first out we have Panther, protection. Consider who you allow to take your energy and who you give it away to freely. Oh, so what an interesting way to start this reading. Scorpio, there may be some people around you right now where you need to think about whether or not they actually need to be in your life. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And then we have bat energy. It says, listen up. You are working through deep soul patterns. Release any outdated beliefs that surface. So let's dig into that a little bit, Scorpio. So this is very interesting. This panther spirit or energy from the spirit animal deck. This is about protecting your energy. And you know, the space around you. This is about establishing boundaries, Scorpio. And you're needing to be careful who you surround yourself with. Not everybody is good for us. We know this, and you know, Scorpios, we're actually good at this, cutting out people who, you know, don't work for us at this time. We can cut you out, we can cut you off. And you know, there could very well be the need for us to re-examine who we have in our life right now. Now again, we're thinking about this from, you know, just in terms of, you know, relationships, you know, marriages, but this could be about business too. This could speak to an enemy who's around you, somebody who you may not be thinking of as an enemy. Now is the time to sort of check the relationships that you have around you, Scorpio. So we've got that. And then we've got bat energy. So this is fast moving energy. If you can think, you know, how fast bats move in and out of caves. But so it's fast moving energy, but it's also about rebirth. You know, so, you know, a bat goes into the cave during the daytime, and then it comes out to start anew at nighttime. So rebirth, releasing outdated beliefs. This is about working on ways that you need to, you know, you can be able to communicate better as well. Bats use vibrational energy to communicate. So you might need to rethink about, you know, how you're communicating, whether or not you're getting your feelings out in the most clear and concise way in your relationships, Scorpio. And it's about having confidence in your voice too, and not being afraid to speak up. And to tell your truth. You know, we need to be able to be honest in the relationships we have. That's how relationships grow, Scorpio. That's, you know, if we can't say what we need to say in the relationship, then we need to consider who we are hanging out with. We need to be able to express our feelings and be comfortable and careful doing that. So now I'm going to look at the Sacred Destiny Oracle and see what messages we get for Scorpio around the 7th house of relationships and partners. I know we have no problem cutting a person off, Scorpio. That's what we do. But, you know, you may be so close to a relationship or so close to a situation right now that you don't necessarily see that, you know, that's what you need to do. And Spirit is giving you permission to do that, you know, especially if this is a relationship where you feel like you're not being listened to or that you can't speak freely. We don't want to be around those people. So we've got flow. This is water energy to me. We've got moon energy too. You know, the moon is sort of associated with water. It's emotional energy too. So you may be very sensitive now, feeling very emotional. And then we've got flexibility. Okay, so let's get into this a little bit. So let's do focus on this this flow energy. I'm calling it water because I really just associate it with that. We actually had a similar message with the weekly reading, Scorpio, and that we pulled the flow rune. The Viking rune of flow. And it's a similar message here. It speaks to going with the flow and not resisting right now. And if you think about, the flow of water and, water flowing down a river, that's just, this is time for us to lie on our back, Scorpio, and just float on down the river. And not resisting. This is, for us too, as we kind of think about relationships, let go for us, let go of the right to the need to be right. Blah is what I wanted to say. We need to sometimes we need to compromise, Scorpio. So there may be a situation where, it's you that needs to listen up. Maybe we're not doing such a good job being the listener in our relationship right now, Scorpio. I know, we like to get our point across, and we need to make sure, we're taking a lead sometimes, but we need to be good listeners too, because if we don't listen, if we don't hear what our, what people are saying in the relationships that we have, then we can't understand. And then we talk about flexibility. So again, there's some consistent messaging here where, maybe there is an opportunity to compromise, Scorpio. We don't need to always be right. There's an opportunity for us to adapt here. We need to be open to something. So again, this could be something, we'll see, what additional messages we get as we continue here, Scorpio, but there seems like there is an opportunity here for a compromise. And the need to be flexible, to have an open mind around something, and then sometimes this can also mean, just averting a situation too, rather than trying to sort of face it, right up front. So there could be something around just, just going around a situation, Scorpio, rather than us always wanting to come out and just face it and say exact and be very direct. There might be some need for diplomacy, Scorpio, that way as well. Now I'm going to pull from the Money Oracle deck. I know this, again, we're going to focus very specifically on the 7th house of relationships and partners, but money touches our lives in all kinds of ways. So we're going to see what messages we get from this deck, and even if it doesn't necessarily pertain to money per se, it's all about metaphor, Scorpio. So we can apply the message to every situation and context. So let's see what we get from this deck. I'm just getting very, very strongly a need to compromise in a situation right now, Scorpio. We don't always have to be right. It's about us deciding where we want to place our bets, what fights we want to really take up, and, what we might want to kind of let go. And save for another time. And that could be something you really need to think about in this situation right now. So we've got persistence. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed. Success is just around the corner. Follow through with what you set out to do consistently until you reach your goal. And hard work is required to keep building on your finances. So that's interesting. And then we have settling. Ooh, boy, is this, very aligned with what we're talking about. But it says, perhaps it's time to ask yourself if you're getting paid what you're worth. Don't settle for a dead-end job where you don't see any opportunity for growth. And though your money is stable, you are not making enough to keep you happy. So that could be very well some money and career messages that, someone needs to hear today, Scorpio. But as I'm thinking about this in the context of the 7th house of partners, I'm getting this whole sense of, especially with this settling card, I'm getting, again, this strong idea that we need to negotiate and compromise right now. whether it's a love relationship, whether it's a business relationship. You could be in an argument with somebody. There could be, your arch enemy and you're trying to figure out how to deal with that person right now. And I'm really getting this strong message right now, Scorpio, that there's really time and or that this is really the time and the need for negotiation. That is what the 7th house is all about: negotiation, balance, right? One person balancing out another. And then we get this go with the flow and flexibility and other messages around needing to compromise. And just think about too, like, even though, this might seem like a period right now where you're coming to heads in a situation or, with a particular person. Just think about all that you've accomplished so far to get this relationship where it is right now, Scorpio. And do we really want to jeopardize that by needing to be right now? If this is a relationship that you want to bring forward, here is an opportunity for you to, chill out. Maybe this is a situation that you are wanting to or needing to back out on. Sometimes, it's about not being persistent here. And I think that, maybe in this situation, that is the message that Spirit has for us. Now, I'm going to pull a couple of overarching tarot cards from this Druid deck. Again, looking at it in the context of the 7th house of relationships and partnership to see what we get. This doesn't have to be a love relationship because I know there are a lot of single Scorpios out there. This could be a business partnership where, you're in negotiations with someone from a business perspective. This could be, you're negotiating, for a raise with a boss or something like that. Again, it does not have to be specific around romance, but there is the need for us to be a little flexible, adaptable, to compromise, but make sure we get our point across, but at the same time, make sure that we are listening. So we have the 4 of Cups. We actually got the 4 of Cups yesterday, too. So this is someone who's just not satisfied, Scorpio, maybe potentially a little bored with life. And then we've got the Prince of Pentacles. So let's, think about this for a little bit. So let's talk through it. So the 4 of Cups is someone who, life is going good. This person has 3 full cups, that they can drink from. Life could be good for them, but for some reason, they're just not satisfied. Or, for whatever reason, they are right now disappointed with the particular situation. So, this is, someone, who, again, is just feeling stuck, just not feeling inspired or excited. This could speak to the need, Scorpio, for you to kind of get some excitement and passion, happiness back into a relationship. Because you might be feeling a little bored with the relationship. This also speaks to you evaluating something. So, you can see here that there's this sort of cup that's at the top that's available for this person. He's not looking at that. He's looking down at his 3 cups and he's deciding whether or not he wants to take that cup and bring it into the fold. So again, when we think about the 7th house, again, it's ruled by Libra and justice. It is about evaluating and weighing things up. So that is what you might be doing right now, Scorpio, in the context of a relationship. You might be deciding whether or not you want what this person has to offer. Maybe you're satisfied right now with what your life is. This could be somebody new wanting to come in and you're weighing out, do I, really want to bring this person into my life? So that could be something, that may be happening for you right now. The message of this card is also, just don't miss out on an opportunity simply because, you know, you're feeling blah, blah, blah and not looking around you or not appreciating what you have around you. So, you know, don't miss out on what, you know, what's available here in this cup, just because you might be slightly disappointed in it. And then we got the Prince of Pentacles. So I like this guy. You know, this is a hard worker. This is a loyal guy. He's very stable. So he is somebody very good to have in terms of a relationship. You know, knights are all about, it's called Prince here, but in the regular deck, you know, the regular wider rate deck, it's the knight, so that's why I'm calling it knight. But you know, knights are typically all about, you know, movement, and this particular knight really is about moving, but slow and steady. He is not afraid to put the hard work in. He does what needs to get done, but he does it very, very efficiently. He's very committed to his tasks. So if this is someone who you are in a relationship with, Scorpio, I would say he is worth compromising for, keeping around. You know, he's committed. You know, he's someone that you can grow a long-term relationship with, Scorpio. Or if this is you committed to a relationship, ready to put the work in, ready to put the effort in. But, you know, at this point, you know, there may be some need to reevaluate where you are, some needs to compromise what's happening in the relationship. So I'm going to now get the Light Seers Tarot deck here, and we're going to pull the main tarot spread to see what additional messages we get, Scorpio, around the 7th house of partners. You know, with that protection, oh, okay. We are not taking any of that. This was just me being clumsy, Scorpio, so sorry about that. But I was going to say, you know, with that protection card and the protection energy, you know, I think you know, it's also about you considering what negative energy you have about you too. So it's not just, you know, about, you know, what energy other people are bringing into the situation or the relationship. It's about your own energy. And so, you know, this could also be you know, a message from Spirit saying, you know, check your own goddamn energy, Scorpio. You know, are you looking at this in a very negative way? You know, especially as, you know, we've got the 4 of Cups here and, you know, her showing some level of disappointment. You know, maybe you need to check your own energy here in this situation, Scorpio, and think a little more positively. Appreciate what you have, you know. Okay, so we're looking at this in the context of the 7th house of relationships. So we've got 9 of Cups. That's a great way to start the draw. It's a very positive card. It speaks to wishes and wish fulfillment, you getting what you want. Very good to start. And then we've got Strength, the Queen of Swords, the Moon, the Empress, and the Knight of Wands. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the 8 of Pentacles. So hopefully you guys can see this in all of these into the camera here. So I'm just thinking, yeah, I mean, and let's start off with the 8 of Pentacles here. Like, so, you know, to me, you know, the 8 of Pentacles, first of all, represents someone who has talent, who has mastered a skill. It could also be someone who is learning a new skill. But I really am thinking, Scorpio, that this is you, you know, who is sort of really focused now on the situation, because Eight of Pentacles can mean that. It can mean, you're focused very pointedly on your work. It's about, you're having a consistent and methodological approach to producing something. So we've got this woman here who has made all of these beautiful pentacles up here. And she's done each and every one of them very consistently and methodically, and they are quality pieces of work. So, in this instance, I really do feel like this is about your being focused on the situation. It's about the love that you're putting into something, like you're wanting to do some quality work to take this relationship to the next level, to fix whatever is going wrong in this relationship. I just think this speaks to the quality of effort that you are putting into a situation right now. And so we've got the Nine of Cups. Now, we love the Nine of Cups. This is a very, very positive card, Scorpio. And it speaks to satisfaction. It speaks to success. It speaks to pleasure. This is a wish fulfilled, right? Spirit has given you what you asked for, right? It's about celebrating a new stage in life. This is someone, who's, has a busy social schedule too. So this is you, being around the people that you love and, having good relationships with these people. I just wonder though, in this, setting here, especially as it's, supported by the moon, which the moon, kind of speaks to uncertainty. It speaks a little bit about fear. We've got actually the moon here twice too. If we kind of think about this flow card, I think it's very similar energy. I think we talked about that. But it's about, uncertainty and not having clarity around a situation too. And I am getting this, this really strong message about be careful what you ask for, Scorpio, as it's sitting under the Nine of Cups. So this might be true for some people. But, the moon also represents a difficult emotional journey. It can represent feelings of being lonely or feeling isolated. So you might be feeling that right now, Scorpio, especially as we have some other strong moon energy. But I do feel like, whatever the situation is right now, it's a very emotional situation for you. And so you may be very, very sensitive right now, Scorpio. But again, I believe sitting underneath this Nine of Cups, I think, this may be you assessing, what you want out of a relationship, what will make you happy, Scorpio, in a relationship, and you are working toward that. I am getting this really, really, really strong idea around be careful what you ask for, though. So somebody needs to hear that. Now we've got the Strength card. So I like the Strength card. It's a good card in the tarot deck. It speaks to your inner strength and wisdom. It speaks to that quiet strength. This is not that bullying strength. This is not you going through and bullying people and demanding people do what you want them to do. This is your ability to quietly influence people. It's that inner strength that you're able to leverage right now. And I do think, Scorpio, this, just really does relate very nicely to what, we're talking about just in terms of, needing to compromise in situations. And sometimes, it's about us having the strength to know when we need to compromise. This is to me also about, inner knowing. You know what I mean? Knowing, that you have the ability to control the situation and, quietly though. And, sometimes that's about, again, being adaptable, being flexible, and knowing when to use that quality. Now it's sitting underneath the 3 here, which is the Empress. We like the Empress. She is a positive card. The Empress here, interestingly, this is also ruled by Venus. So you've got the seventh house, which is ruled by Venus, and then you've got the Empress card, which is also sort of ruled by that same planet. This is the divine feminine. This is, the ability to be able to blend mind, body, and spirit. This speaks to unconditional love. How beautiful is that? This is speaking to nurturing the people that you love. And the whole idea that anything you nurture will flourish. Sitting under here, I just feel like, maybe that's your strength right now, is to be able to kind of take this situation into your hands and nurture it. It's this, mothering, like this gentleness. And maybe that's what this situation with this relationship needs right now, Spirit. And again, part of Scorpio, sorry, I called you Spirit. But, again, part of, using your strength in this instance, to me, again, is the strength you're offering here is your ability to nurture and your ability to come at this in a gentle and compassionate way, and not in this, Scorpio way that we tend to have, Scorpio. So we tend to be dominating. We tend to be demanding. We tend to want what we want. And I think, we also are very compassionate. We also are very gentle. We're very, very sensitive souls. So I think this is saying, we need to use our intuition, our feminine qualities here, our ability to be compassionate, our ability to go with the flow in this particular situation. Now we've got the Queen of Swords here. Now she might not do that, the Queen of Swords. So, the queens are compassionate, queens are nurturing, but this particular, queen does it in a very different way. So, she doesn't mince her words. She's about being honest. She's about being dependent. She's about being fair. She's someone who knows pain, right? So, she's been there, she's done that, she's very experienced with being hurt, but she tells it like it is. She does speak her mind. So, while we're talking about you're having the need to compromise, Scorpio, and, you're needing to, come at this in a very gentle way, you also need to make sure you're getting your point across, that your voice is being heard, and that you're saying what you need to say in this particular situation. Now, we can say that, and we can say it in a very nice way. So, we might not do it exactly the way the Queen of Swords would do it, but we need to do it nonetheless. Now it's sitting or it's supported, the Queen of Swords is supported by the Knight of Wands here. And the Knight of Wands, I love him. He's, he's the rebel of all of the knights. He is very impulsive. He likes adventures. He likes travel. He's a very enthusiastic. He quickly moves from one idea to another, but he's passionate. He's very, very, very passionate. So I think, there's, nights bring about change. So I do think that this is, about, again, you're wanting to, whatever, you're kind of really focused and passionate on, taking this relationship to a better place, Scorpio. So I think this is really kind of speaking to your eagerness. I do think, again, I just would caution a little bit just around your needing to be a little more gentle, though, in this situation. Get your point across. but, let's not be a bully here. He can be a bully a little bit. This Knight of Wands, he can be a little reckless. And I think that, given all that we see on the table here, that's not the way we want to go with this situation. Be focused, say what you need to say, but let's not be reckless about it. So let's just clarify the cards that we have here with the Kipper deck and see if we can get a little more insight here on this. Okay. So we've got bad health, number 31. Marriage, main female, and official person. So let's think about this for a minute, Scorpio. I guess we can start with this official person. So this is number 22 in the Kipper deck. This speaks to someone who's got authority, someone who's got a lot of power. This speaks to order and structure. It speaks, to someone who's very determined and who is focused. So it's really interesting that it's sitting under, or, that it's supporting this Eight of Pentacles, which has some of the same energy. So I do think this is you, that you've got this like single line of sight about this situation or this issue right now. This could also speak to, something that's out of your control, right? So when there's so much order and structure, like there's not a whole bunch that you can do around changing something too. So it could speak to something, being out of your control, or again, Scorpio, what we've been talking about, your, someone, you needing to relinquish a little bit of the control here. Maybe you don't need to be the official person. Again, maybe this is an opportunity for you to let up and not need to be the, one taking the lead in this particular situation. Now we've got number 31, bad health. It's sitting atop the Nine of Cups and the Moon, and it really does validate the kind of thought that I got around those cards before, around the idea of like just kind of be careful what you wish for. So this card is just really around poor health, bad thoughts, negative thoughts. When it's talking about health here, it could be mental health, or it could be physical health, it could be spiritual health. This speaks, sometimes to depression or addiction. It speaks to, needing to rest and recover. But, that it's sitting here, I do think that this is about, maybe you're having some negative thoughts. We talked about too, just the negative energy that you might be bringing to a situation. Again, somebody else might be coming into a situation with some ulterior motives here. This could be you, Scorpio, having some ulterior motives. But I do think, you should just really, in a situation, as we're wanting to grow this, as we're wanting to rectify, as we're wanting to, whatever the situation is for you, Scorpio, I think this speaks to not coming at this in a negative way and really giving some serious thought in terms of what you want to get out of this. Now we have number 3, marriage. So this speaks to any kind of close relationship. So I do think this All of this is about a romantic relationship. It could be, intimate, relationship to Scorpio. It's any place where you can sort of, join forces. So I do think that this is really just, speaking to helping us better understand the, the type of relationship that we're dealing with here, Scorpio. So I do think this is an intimate relationship of some kind. So it might be with you with a significant other, or you with a very, very close friend. And it speaks to, the Empress can be very, very intimate too. She's all about love, and luxury and expressing her intimacy. There could be a need for that to have need for there to be more of that in a relationship, Scorpio. We've got, a couple of we've got the water energy here. We've got the water energy here with the moon. And there could be, the need for a little more intimacy in your relationship. Maybe that's what you're lacking here. With the Four of Cups, maybe the relationship is bored. We talked about maybe you're needing a little more excitement in this relationship, Scorpio. And so there could be something here about just the need to be a little more intimate. And so we've got the number 2. So that's the main female. And, in this deck, this typically represents you, whether you're male or female, right? So this could be you or it can be your significant other. But, that it's sitting, atop, we've got the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Wands. I think this is your energy, Scorpio, these 2 court cards. And it's speaking to what we talked about. Maybe you're just, needing to get your point across, but just, check about how you're doing that. Maybe there's just an opportunity to be a little more gentle in this situation. So I'm going to end the deck, Scorpio, here with a couple of pulls from the Keepers of the Light Oracle deck, so that we can end with a positive, message from Spirit. This is a long-term committed relationship, Scorpio, that has good foundation. This is you willing to put in the work. This is your partner willing to put in the work. But when you do that, that often means, the need to compromise and the need to negotiate, the need to take the time out and stop talking, speaking, and listening, so you can understand. So we've got Lord Ganesh, infinite abundance. Obstacles are being removed. Spiritual support and connections are increasing. So this is interesting, with the moon energy, again, just use your intuition in this situation. Spirit wants to support you and your partner in this effort. It's going to be okay. There's abundance, there's hope for this relationship. This is a beautiful relationship. And you and your partner are definitely willing to work at it. We've got faith, humanity, and benevolence. Stay calm, trust the good in yourself and in others, and see the light in the world. So that's beautiful. Have faith in this relationship, Scorpio. This is good. Whatever this, you're bringing to the relationship is good. Whatever your partner is bringing to this relationship is good. There's some work that needs to happen. It's all about negotiation. So I hope you enjoyed this message, Scorpio. I hope it, at least some or part of it, resonated with you. Please consider subscribing to my channel and sharing it with another Scorpio who maybe needs to hear this message. So until next time, bye.